underway now with the finals of GP Barcelona. Hello, my friends, and welcome to live coverage of GP Barcelona. The finals are upon us, my friends. We've got all the way through the top 8, all the way through the Swiss, and it all comes down to this final match between Matthew Pope and Petr Sochůrek. In the booth, my name's Riley Knight, and I'm joined by the Pro Tour Hall of Famer Rafael Levy. Raf, we've talked all weekend about the importance of the early turns, the early opening gambits made in this matchup. So it'll be very interesting to see how these early turns pan out for these two players.
So Matthew opens up with Concealed Courtyard and no turn 1 play. No Threat Inspector and no
Toolcraft Exemplar either.
Yeah.
As we see Aether Hub come down. Get the energy flowing now for Pope as he gets a Heart of Kiran on the board. Sochůrek, he's relying on that Oath of Nissa as a one-mana sort of green cantrip here. Game Trail revealing a forest. And it's going to be a Servant of the Conduit now. So energy also flowing for Sochůrek here. We saw a Feldar Guardian hit the hand of Sochůrek thanks to that oath here. But Pope hasn't had the swift start. No, of course, no. As you say, no one-mana play for him.
Yeah. But now Heart of Kiran is it's going to be active thanks to Thalia.
Yep.
That's a pretty good start for Matthew. He has the follow-up Gideon.
So with the Thalia coming down now, an extra energy thanks to the Aether Hub, and an attack with the Heart of Kiran, this is stronger stuff now.
This is very strong stuff, yeah. And
there is
with
the
Thalia, I don't think Matthew has a way to interact with the combo in hand, like a shock or unlicensed disintegration. But this is the strength of Mardu on the play. Now he can just play threats and be on the attacking side.
So Pope in a good position to dominate early due to the fact that he was on the play for this game, finishing 5th in the Swiss to Sochůrek's 7th position there.
Even if Petr had the combo in hand, he would have to play something. Like he would have to play. No, he has 4 mana, so he can actually play the Guardian first, which is probably the only way he can combo off. If he manages to find a land and a basic land.
Looks like we're going to see the Guardian come down here, entering the battlefield tapped, of course, because of Thalia. That's another thorn in the side of the combo here. We've seen effects like this run rampant throughout the weekend, not only Thalia, but of course with Authority of the Consuls. Yeah. But Oath of Nissa is a nice way for the Guardian here to eke out a little bit of extra value.
I think he's going to have to take the basic land just to be able to combo off next turn if he draws the Saheeli.
Matthew Pope, a thoughtful look on his face as Sochůrek considers his options. And yes, once again, good call from Raf Levy here, identifying Forest as the pick for Sochůrek. Because
if I think he has a Harness Lightning. I think that's what he was considering here. Harness Lightning on Thalia. Because he's not going to win the race here. He's going to have to combo off. On the draw against Heart of Kiran and Gideon, if Matthew doesn't have a Gideon, then he's fine. But if he does,
it's going to be big trouble.
Petr kind of realized he's likely to have it, he will have to combo off. Therefore, he took the basic land. Therefore, he'll have to kill the Thalia and find Saheeli.
So Pope now, Aethersphere Harvester in his hand. I can see what I think is a Spire of Industry in the back of his hand, and it looks like a Gideon as well, hiding out their second card from the top. So we're going to see these cards leveraged here. Unlicensed Disintegration, you can see, brought to the front of the hand. And a Fatal Push as well amongst them.
Is that what he drew? He did draw the Disintegration this turn.
Didn't get a good look at exactly what was drawn this turn. Looks like Pope's going to attack before anything else gets done.
This is the scary part here. So he could have just gone for the Gideon, but since Petr got the...
Are we just going to see a straight-up answer? No, it's going to be the Aethersphere Harvester here. Generating 2 energy now. Pope's energy reserve up to 4. There is the ally of Zendikar, but the play at the moment, the Harvester.
A
confused look on on the face of Raphael Levy here.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Why would you play a Harvester instead of Gideon here? Fatal Push is not dealing with the combo.
Well, no, not right off the bat, at least. There's no way for Pope to immediately enable Revolt here.
Why? What? I don't understand. Oh, he didn't. No, he had the mana for it.
He had the mana for it, for sure.
Why did he cast? Why did he keep the mana for Gideon? For Fatal Push?
Gideon sandbagged in order for Fatal Push to be online here.
I'm a little confused. Well, maybe I probably missed something.
Well, if there's something here to miss, I'm sure we'll find out about it before too much longer. Rogue Refiner seems to be the play now. Down it comes. Oop, no. Thinks better of it here, Sochůrek. Still with a land to play this turn. We know he has a forest from the Oath of Nissa.
Because passing the turn, he knew Sochůrek had a basic land. So that was the 5th land. And he needed to have Saheeli and the Harnessed Lightning.
Okay, so we're back now at the position where the Rogue Refiner is going to come down. Blue mana being made by the Servant of the Conduit here. Enters the battlefield tapped, of course, thanks to Thalia, but gains 2 energy and a card for Sochůrek here. Forest in hand. And an attack with the Felidar Guardian. There's the Rogue Refiner. And a Harnessed Lightning to remove the Thalia from play. Just as you said, Raphael Levy, so important for Sochůrek to get rid of that.
I see. Oh, yeah. I get it now. Okay, it took me a while, but I understood. I understand. Because if... yeah, exactly what's happening now. Now the Fatal Push is enabled to kill the Guardian. Okay, yep.
So Pope there playing on some very deep level. That is impressively next-level stuff from him because he anticipated the death of the Thalia, meaning that then Fatal Push would be online.
I did miss it.
That's very clever there from Pope. He's actually drawn another Thalia as well, but right now it's 4 mana. We may be seeing Gideon come down here with the removal of 1 energy to generate a white mana. Here is the ally of Zendikar. You impressed with that?
With the Gideon?
With the Fatal Push play.
Oh, yeah, that was good, yeah.
And Gideon's also going to jump aboard this Heart of Kiran by the look of things. And make a Night token to boot. So Pope getting a good amount of value out of his cards here as both of these vehicles sail across to trouble Sochůrek's life total. And also buffer up Pope should he choose to. Doesn't look like he will. And Sochůrek down to 5? That's a huge hit already.
He took a lot of hits from the Heart of Kiran.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time the Heart of Kiran has got in here. Plus the 3 extra damage done by the Aethersphere Harvester, and Sochůrek well and truly on the back foot.
Yeah, the Harvester play was really good.
Yeah.
I have to say it was very good.
Well, impressive stuff here from Matthew Pope. He's obviously no slouch getting into the final of a GP here, and he can smell victory on the breeze. Sochůrek deep in the tank. How can he find a way out?
That's the kind of play you see when you're in the seat playing your deck. It's a little harder when you have the overview.
I think one of the biggest reasons that it's difficult for us to see players like that is that we don't want a certain player to win. Both of these players have a very vested interest in one of them winning here. So we're looking at it from a sort of not objective, but a much more drawn back position.
Yeah.
Whereas Pope is anticipating, what he wants, what he doesn't want, his hopes, his dreams, his fears, and right now his hope has certainly come true. Pope's hope all the way, as he says, nope to Sochůrek here.
Are dope.
Pope's hope indeed is dope as he gets all the way to 1-0. So he is 1 game win away from confirming Mardu Ballista as the best deck ever in the history of Magic, as well as Sochůrek
March
going down
2017.
Here. Yes, ever in March 2017, of course, yes. And Sochůrek, you can see he's got a couple of things to think about now as these players hit their sideboards. Again, we did touch upon the sideboards of these players here. Pope will be looking to bolster his win here with another one back-to-back so he can take it out 2-0 in straight sets and claim that trophy you can see at the back of your screen.
So get into these players' heads.
Like,
oh, yeah, Sochůrek is like, oh, I played Mario twice in the top 8. I'm definitely beating that guy. And Matthew is like, oh yeah, I played.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't even think about that dimension of it. Both of these
I'm
players.
not losing this matchup. Come on.
Both of these players have slain their opponent's deck all the way through the top 8.
I'm 100% against
They've
that deck.
got to be so confident.
I'm not losing that matchup.
They've got to be so confident how they're going through here. Both of them have access to the deck lists, as do we. Rafael Levy, let's look at Matthew Pope's options here. We talked about it briefly before. We've got a very neat sideboard here, 5 2-ofs and 5 1-ofs. Oath of Liliana, Release the Gremlins, Ob Nixilis, Archangel Avacyn, and Painful Truths all appearing as 2-ofs, and as the 1-ofs rounded out by Sorin, Nahiri, the Harbinger, Anguished Unmaking, Shambling Vent, and Ashok. Interesting options for Pope to choose from here, but what are we looking at from Sochůrek's side?
Sky Sovereign, 2 Dispels, 2 Natural States, 2 Negates, 3 Release the Gremlins, 1 Tireless Tracker, and 3 Walking Ballistas. So we've seen Sochůrek play Negate in the matchup. We saw him board in Release the Gremlins. We saw him board in Sky Sovereign and Natural State. So a lot of cards in.
A lot of cards to be brought in. It'll be interesting to see which ones are taken out. But one of these little dances these players are doing here, we've talked about next leveling your opponent, being on the next, getting up in their brain zone and that sort of thing. And the negates here, you sort of look at this. It's Mardu. It's an aggro deck. It's looking to get on the front foot with aggressive creatures early on. Bringing in negate, well, it makes a lot of sense when you're looking at an opponent who might be boarding in things like Ob Nixilis, Sorin, Nahiri, maybe not these exact cards, but powerful non-creature spells.
And that's where the whole mind game comes in. I'm pretty sure if both players had like 2 hours or 3 hours to prepare that matchup, they would look at the replays and see, well, what does he bring in? Oh, he brings in the negates. He brings in the Release the Gremlins. Maybe I should keep my aggro plan. If I'm on the play, if I'm on the draw. It's just, look at this deck list. Look at Sochůrek's deck list. What do you take out? You have,
that's
you
the
have
question
Sky
I'm asking
Sovereign,
myself
you
as
have
well.
2 Natural States, you have 2 negates, you have Release the Gremlins. What do you take out?
Do you take out the combo? Do you remove these cards that are weak by themselves but a bit overwhelmingly powerful together?
You probably take out Tamiyo.
Yeah, there's one copy of Tamiyo, Field Researcher.
This one is easy to take out. If he draws a Tamiyo in that game, I'll be a little surprised. But he can prove me wrong. Then
Will of Virtuosos and Rogue Refiners, the glue that are holding many of these Teemo-based decks together here.
Yeah, you can shave some of these cards. You can shave maybe one of... I don't know, do you take out of Chandra? Maybe one?
Well, while you're having to think about that, I can shed some light on the Mardu sideboarding plans that some of these players this weekend have relied upon. We saw earlier on some of the Mardu players relying on a pretty unorthodox and interesting strategy, taking out cards like, for example, Toolcraft Exemplar, taking out the Walking Ballistas, and in exchange for these bigger, harder-hitting cards that are going to enable such much more powerful things in the late game. I'm not sure if Walking Ballista is the cut here in the face of a Saheeli deck, but we'll see.
That was the Gatewatch strategy in Utrecht.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they were taking out all the aggro cards. They were taking out the exemplars and the artifacts to
push through instead with
pretty much to cancel out the Release the Gremlins.
Yeah, and that's
in Natural States. And I think were they taking out the hearts? They might have taken out 1 or 2 hearts as well.
Well, if you can strand those artifact removal spells in your opponent's hand, it's as good as a Thoughtseize. It's better than a Thoughtseize, in fact, because it didn't cost you a card. So that's the sort of prescient play that will reward players who are sideboarding with a deft and cunning mind. But right now we're heading into game number 2, and if it goes Pope's way, it'll be the last game of the tournament, ladies and gentlemen. There's been thrills and spills. There's been laughs. There's been tears. We've had ups and downs, smiles and frowns. But as we approach the pointy end of this tournament, Matthew Pope in a position now to secure himself a 2-0 clean sweep of the finals. Sochůrek, of course, doing everything he can to prevent that from happening.
I have to say I'm pretty impressed by Pope's play. I like to see that in the finals. Like very, very good players making very tight decisions. It's always a pleasure.
The sole read on the fact that the Thalia was going to get eaten by that Harness Lightning was just too good. It was just too good. Sochůrek really walking right into that pit trap there. And we all know how hard it is to get out of a pit trap once you've fallen in.
And you can't. Can you regenerate out of a pit trap?
Out of a pit trap, can you regenerate?
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I think because you're stuck. Pretty sure you can't regenerate in a pit trap.
Well, that debate will rage on right now.
Maybe
all about
Mate and the coward viewer will.
I think we're going to see it up here in a second here as Pope and Sochůrek examine their openers here.
Can you regenerate? I don't know. No, you cannot regenerate.
Can't be regenerated. All right, there you go. That pit trap's going to take care of an attacking creature without flying. No worries at all. Oath of Nissa to open things up here in game number 2 of the finals, potentially the final game of this tournament, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure it's been to have your company throughout it.
Oh yeah, well look at
Rogue Refiner here for
look at what's in Petr's hand.
Tamiyo. Oh, there, color you surprised.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna go home now.
Inspiring Vantage now from Pope, and Sochůrek is again hitting his straps here with a powerful opener. But look at this. We've got a 2-drop from Pope in the form of the Walking Ballista. Servant of the Conduit on your screen as well. That's a very useful card for these Teemo decks.
Muck Fanatic. An artifact Muck Fanatic at the moment.
Another Oath of Nissa here. Oh no, sorry, an Attune with Ether. Yeah. Those arts are so similar. Attune with Ether to fetch out a mountain and gain some energy. And again, we've talked about the role of green cantrips in Standard at the moment. You know, cantrips in the sense that they replace themselves for 1 mana and provide a little bit of utility. And you know, in the world of Ponders and Preordains and Serum Visions, cards like Oath of Nissa, I mean, a welcome opening up of the color pie here.
Natural selection went a long way since beta.
Rogue Refiner now. A card and 2 energy. Sochůrek really not struggling to fill up that energy reserve now. There is the Refiner. And an Aether Sphere Harvester coming down for Matthew Pope. Chucks a couple of energy into his reserve as well. So Mardu Ballista, Mardu Vehicles, call it what you will. Matthew Pope at the moment is exemplifying this deck here. Sochůrek, on the other hand, isn't representing any of the cards that make this combo so potent. There's the Aether Sphere Harvester, playing second fiddle in many cases to the Heart of Kiran. But that lifelink is so useful, and especially when there's so much energy flying around anyway.
I like the 1 Harvester in the deck. It's Sky Sovereign. Like the 1 to just refill the Ether Hub.
And we've got Sky Sovereign coming down now. The console flagship is knocking that ballista out of the sky. And Sochůrek consolidating a very strong position that he's already gained on the battlefield here. 6/5 vehicle, crew 3 of course, which he'll be able to do next turn with that Rogue Refiner should it be still sticking around. Pope considering his options. You can see him deep in thought.
He's in a bad position here because he can either tap out to play Gideon or just do nothing and keep the Unlicensed Disintegration.
Well, this is what we're going to see now. A Knight ally comes into play as well, and there are no attacks from Pope.
But if he doesn't, if he just passed the turn, like Petr would have just not activated the Sky Sovereign.
Protected from that Unlicensed Disintegration he may suspect is in Pope's hand. Here's Gideon ally of Zendikar. You can see this guy has not gone anywhere. This whip-wielding long-haired boy has done so much work since his introduction into Standard.
From Battle of Zendikar?
Yeah, Battle for Zendikar. All that time ago. Yeah. All that time ago. And he's still around. Chucking punches around with the best of them, ladies and gentlemen, on the top tables of Standard. Sure, looking forward to his quiet retirement into people's cubes around the world after a hectic Standard season. We did see him in Modern in the sideboards of some Abzan decks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, sort of playing the same role as Elspeth Knight Errant as the old spicy one of here and there.
Well, I like Elspeth.
Oh, yeah.
I played them in Legacy. In Miracles, as a win condition.
Another 4-cost Planeswalker in the hand of Sochůrek, on the other hand here. In the form of Tamio Field Researcher. How much is she doing at this point here?
Tamio?
Hmm.
I'm not sure. Tamio can tap both Exosphere and the Knight, and then he can attack and kill everything, and kill Gideon.
Well, here is the Tamio, of course, cast off lands that don't produce white, thanks to the Oath of Nissa.
I guess Tamio is fine on the play. I'm not sure how good it is on the draw against Mardu.
Okay.
But on the play, I guess it's pretty good.
Well, here is the Field Researcher.
So tap both.
Get a quick look at her here. Tap the Aethersphere Harvester, perhaps, and the Knight Ally, and then clean up Gideon.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like a bad sequence.
I like it.
You're into it?
And attack for 6 damage too.
Yeah, sure.
You accrue the Sky Sovereign with the Rogue Refiner. You attack Gideon with the Servant. Attack the face with the Sky Sovereign.
Seems like a tidy way to shore up a bit of further advantage.
Yeah.
And looks like we're going to see exactly that. Here we go.
And 3 damage to Gideon with the Sky Sovereign.
With the trigger.
Yep.
So, yes indeed, up goes the Rogue Refiner. Jumping aboard Sky Sovereign. And attacking... No, okay, just attacking Gideon, leaving back the Servant of the Conduit. So blasting the Knight Ally and attacking Gideon for 6.
Oh yeah, okay. He had an Oath of Nissa in him.
Okay, so he's got a follow-up play there. That makes a lot of sense.
Better than 2 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at Petr's hand, but that's...
Well, it would end up being 6 damage to Matthew Pope's face there, so he'd be down to 14, but obviously Sochůrek valuing the Oath of Nissa trigger a little further.
I like the 6 damage.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a bad way to play it either, especially if you're going to be jumping in the air with that Sky Sovereign every turn.
I like the 6 damage.
Pope at this stage without a way to crew that vehicle. That may change, however. Go on.
Was there rush to play the Oath of Nissa? Like, is it worth 6 damage? That's the trade. That's the trade Petr was willing to do.
That's how he's done it. We've seen potentially unorthodox lines of play come back to very heavily reward players. So we'll see how things shake out for these two now. Matthew Pope, 5 cards in hand for him. Ether Hub. What have we got in there? Scrapyard Scrounger and a Plains amongst the cards in Pope's hand.
Yeah, the Gideon didn't actually work out so well.
No, it really didn't.
But there was no good plan. No good option. Like staying in tap was not a good plan.
Scrap Heap Scrounger, and now the the Tamio suffers 3 points of damage thanks to Old Mate Unlicensed Disintegration on the Servant of the Conduit. So a nice tidy little 2-for-1 there, and this is the power of Unlicensed Disintegration. Not just to terminate with upside, it is so often a 2-for-1 in the face of a Planeswalker. And here is another Oath of Nissa. That's the 3rd one we've seen.
Fedor Guardian.
So the options for Sochůrek here as he consults his hand. Take more or less anything out of his deck. A land,
is this an inspiring
Planeswalker, or a creature
under the Sanctum? I think it is. Oh, a Game Trail. Basically, my question is, does he have a white mana? No, he doesn't. That's why he killed. That's why he killed the Servant.
Yeah, that's another good point.
Oh well.
Ether Hub's going to change that, however. Green mana, blue mana, red mana, and it's going to be Whirl of Virtuoso here. 3 more energy for Sochůrek. Up to 7.
And negate up.
Negate up as well, is it?
Yep.
Ooh. All right, that's very tidy. And immediately making a Thopter so as to crew the Sky Sovereign. Let's get rid of that.
There's no coming back from this.
It's pretty nasty stuff here for Matthew Pope as he's just been blasted by this Sky Sovereign. I mean, that Unlicensed Disintegration, a nice way to clear some of the problems off the other side of the board here. But this Sky Sovereign is just doing an absolute number on Matthew Pope here. 3 cards in hand, 2 of them lands, 2 planes, and what looks like another scrounger. Is that right? I think it was a colorless card anyway.
That game would have been so different on the play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, because
That's a walking ballista.
like playing Gideon when your opponent does not have hasn't played his Sky Sovereign yet. That's a huge difference. But that's what it is.
Here's the Aethersphere Harvester coming across for 3. That's a nice 6-point life swing here for Matthew Pope as he evens up the life totals a little bit. Hasn't been able to even up the battlefield, however. Walking Ballista for 3 is a nice play. But he's still a long way behind in the face of this Sky Sovereign.
It's okay. It's not.
It's still, I mean, it dies to a single Sky Sovereign trigger.
Yeah.
And you imagine one will be forthcoming.
It's not the best. It's okay.
So Sochůrek with 2 mana available. What's he considering here?
Making a token.
He's going to do exactly that as another Thopter comes down. And negate in hand, as you mentioned there, Raf, for Sochůrek. So Pope passes the turn. And we're back now to see if Sochůrek can well and truly shore up the position he's found himself in and equalise at 1-1. The door swiftly closing on Matthew Pope. And you have to say all signs point towards Sochůrek taking this game out. However, it's not over till the fat lady sings, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope.
Anything could happen from here. Sochůrek deep in the tank. He's fallen in at the aquarium, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to try to find his way to the swiftest W possible.
He's still on 16, so it's not. It's not like his. With on 16 with a negate backup, so he can just like crew attack. That would still be 10 damage. No, he's gonna be. His creature's gonna be killed by the ballista. Unless he plays a servant first. So it's going to be more damage even.
So 2 mana here for a servant? No, perhaps not. Sochůrek really thinking very, very carefully about this. Rogue Refiner. Looks like it might be going upstairs to board the console flagship. Toot all aboard. As the flagship comes across, blasts the ballista. We'll see what Pope's response to that is.
What is he going to kill? The Virtuoso or the tokens?
Token Rogue Refiner is an option. Any number of possibilities here, really.
Probably the Virtuoso, because then he has access to release the gremlins if he draws it.
Could clean up very nicely there.
What's his last card?
Final card is a Plains, I believe.
Oh, that's not too good.
No. Doesn't do a lot. Does exactly one thing.
No.
Away goes one Thopter.
Killing the Thopters.
And away goes the Rogue Refiner there.
Right. So take 9 damage.
Takes a bunch of damage here. And the follow-up play now.
Yeah,
As you can see a second Sky Sovereign in the hand of Petr Sochůrek here.
Not sure about the post-combat servant. Well, help me here. Why didn't he play it before? There might be a reason, but I'm not sure why.
Well, in any case, it's a moot point as Sochůrek cleans up Matthew Pope after a very convincing Game 1 win by Matthew Pope. He has gone down in an equally convincing fashion, I would say, to Petr Sochůrek, who did very, very well, not giving his opponent an inch in that match.
No, he's been leading like from turn 4. Turn 4 Sky Sovereign is hard to deal with.
Yeah, and Pope really wasn't in a position to do anything about it. Maybe a release the Gremlins at some point might have done something about it, but I just think any way you slice it, Sochůrek so far ahead throughout much of that match. So we are going to head into a Game 3, the final game for sure of this tournament, my friends. The
release
final
the
game.
Gremlins was actually a very good draw. If he had killed the Virtuoso, he would have had 7 mana with the Plains in his hand. If he had drawn the release the Gremlins, he would have killed the Sky Sovereign, the 2 tokens.
And had 3 dudes for his trouble.
Yeah.
Although Sochůrek did have the second size Sky Sovereign in hand there.
Yeah, he could have done another.
But it would have been. Yeah, you're right. It would have been the first step out of this out of that problem. But all of that is behind us now, as it's up to Sochůrek and Pope to battle it out, duke it out for supremacy here at GP Barcelona. We will be crowning a champion before very much longer, ladies and gentlemen. This matchup continues to show hidden depths of and intricacies that we haven't seen yet.
I love this picture here. The 2 players sideboarding for game 3 with the trophy on there.
Tantalizingly close.
Yeah.
Only one of them will be able to take it home, and of course that fat stack of dollars that's going to come with it as well. You know, I know that both of these players, they holler for that dollar. They got to get paid.
Can we just skip to the trophy scene? That's what they're thinking.
That's what they're thinking.
Do I really have to play an extra game like real hard?
Oh, geez, yes, indeed. We do have to go through the whole process here and crown a winner fair and square. And we'll see what happens as these 2 players, of course, put the finishing touches on their deck, shuffling up for game number 3 in the finals of GP Barcelona. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, after this game ends, don't forget GP New Jersey coming your way from the other side of the ditch. It's not going to be very much longer before you'll be watching all of the action coming from North America in the capable hands of the coverage team over on the other side. So the party don't stop till cops kick the door in, ladies and gentlemen. Rafael Levy, I know that you'll be very interested to see the results from the other side of the Atlantic. And it's our pleasure, of course, to bring live and uninterrupted magic the whole day long, all day, every day. So be sure to stick around, because the delay between us finishing up here and heading off to New Jersey will be very small.
Is it about 3 minutes?
Back on the screen, 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll be you'll have magic back on your screen, my friend. So don't go anywhere as soon as this tournament finishes. As I say, jumping across the Atlantic to get underway with the best of magic that North America has to offer us. But right now, it's all about the 2 blokes on your screen, and to a lesser extent, the cards that they are playing, of course. These 2 guys have slogged through a long and taxing tournament. They'll be mentally exhausted, they'll be physically exhausted, but only one of them will hoist that trophy at the end of it now, as we see some particularly thorough shuffling going on by these 2 players. And look at geez, one of those cards hidden away.
Throwing cards around.
Chucking cards around. Matthew Pope here. Both the players getting into the zone, I suppose, getting ready to bring their absolute best, their AAA game now in the 3rd game of this final. We saw some sideboard cards doing a little bit of work in that previous game. Negate never had to be deployed, but all the same, a very potent way for Sochůrek to close down his opponent's game plan. But it was Sky Sovereign, console flagship, as the 2 out of the sideboard that did the most work there for Sochůrek.
And Tamia did actually a lot of work.
She didn't find her way into the sideboard, as you imagined. She's in the main deck, and she stuck it out for this game. But I mean, now on the draw, will you be surprised to see her?
Oh, I'm not saying anything anymore.
No, don't want to open up that porthole. No, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just going to be Captain Insight. After they play that, he had this.
He had this.
That was a good play.
Yep, great play.
Oh, yeah, good sideboard. I'm not going to try to...
Don't want to shoot from the hip anymore.
Anything, yeah.
Well, all that remains is for these 2 players to put the finishing touches on this randomization process that has been going on for quite some time, my friends.
That's probably one of the last ones.
Well,
if they don't mulligan.
Well, let's hope there's no mulligans, my friend, because I tell you what, these boys, they love to shuffle. These 2 good shuffle boys are really, really getting amongst it. 7 cards for each player. Matthew Pope's hand looks pretty tidy, to be honest. Nice mix of lands and spells. Saw Heart of Kiran in there, in addition to the Aethersphere Harvester, Unlicensed Disintegration. Saw a Scrap Heap Scrounger as well. Wonder if he'll be happy with that. Looks like a 2-lander to me. Sochůrek on the other hand. Yes, indeed, both these players are happy, and we are off to the races.
It's a 3-lander.
3 lands in the hand of Matthew Pope. Sochůrek has got some ways to pluck more lands out of his library. What is that I spot there in the Sochůrek's hand?
I told you it would be good.
Yeah, definitely. Your words precisely. Roll back the tape, and that's what you'll hear him say, ladies and gentlemen. Sochůrek's going to kick it off. Game Trail revealing a forest. Going to power out an Oath of Nissa. Nice start for him. And Matthew Pope, without any Toolcraft exemplars, without any Thraben Inspectors, I wouldn't be surprised to see these cards hitting the bench.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a substitute.
So Oath of Nissa offering Sochůrek the choice of those 3 cards you see face down there.
They'll be brought in at the 70th minute for the end of the match. For now, they're just cleaning the bench.
Will of Virtuoso, the pick here for Sochůrek. And it's back to Pope. What has he got? An unlicensed disintegration off the top. We're going to see here. What is it? It is a Heart of Kiran. That's threatening to attack next turn thanks to the Scrap Heap Scrounger in the hand of Pope.
The only thing is, Pope only has 1 source of black mana. And like a one-time activation for black mana.
Yeah, thanks to the Ether Hub here. He's going to have to draw Concealed Courtyard or something similar.
Oh, he doesn't have to, but not yet.
Well, with 2 copies of Unlicensed Disintegration and a Scrap Heap Scrounger to activate eventually. But a Servant of the Conduit's going to mean that Sochůrek's not going to have too many mana issues.
Oh, that's...
Oh, a Gideon.
That's a huge draw.
A Gideon here.
That means he has like the draw to make magic happen.
In a very real sense, yes. A little small smile playing on the face of Matthew Pope as we see Scrap Heap Scrounger jump into the Heart of Kiran. We've seen this line taken so many times, and Sochůrek really already being punished by the quick start from Matthew Pope's Mardu deck.
Like now, if Sochůrek does not play Fiddler Guardian or a Saheeli is not going to do much, but Fiddler Guardian, then Matthew is going to deploy the Gideon next turn.
And that's just going to be huge here,
and
because of course
that's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, it generates those Knight tokens. It can also accrue the Heart of Kiran here. Yeah, Gideon's going to get a lot of stuff done if he can come down and start swinging, start chucking those punches around. And Sochůrek, he realizes he's got to pull out something special here. It's only turn 3 for him, but already such a critical point of the game.
And then double disintegration. Like any source of black mana activates the second one. The first one is going to be tough to beat. The second one, But we're not safe from the combo as well. So
looks like a tune with Ether could be on the mind of Sochůrek here. No, he's got a different idea. Is that 3 copies of Whirl of Virtuoso in the back of his hand?
No, it's only 2, I think.
Okay.
I think there's a Tamio, I think there's Saheeli Rai, and the last one might be a Rogue Refiner.
Might be a Rogue Refiner there. I don't think it's a Saheeli. That could be wrong there.
Okay.
Yep. Here is the Attune with Ether. There you see it. Another one of these 1-mana green replacement cards that replace itself. I hesitate to call it quite a cantrip, but along with Traverse the Ulvenwald and the Oath of Nissa, it means that green has a lot of 1-mana options when it comes to smoothing out those early draws. So Sochůrek now snagging an island off of that Attune with Ether, and he's going to play it.
The Virtuoso, I guess. Just to gain some time. Playing Saheeli would be not very good.
No, immediately dying to the Heart of Kiran.
Yeah.
More or less. And here comes the Whirl of Virtuoso. Up to 7 energy for Sochůrek here. And Matthew Pope, he's going to unload all over this battlefield now. Gideon, the ally of Zendikar, is going to be a big problem here.
And now comes...
Oh, and a Concealed Courtyard.
All right, so both are active. Well, not yet, but for the Oh.
And it's going to be Gideon here. So this is all of a sudden now we're really in a position to start to pursue the end of this game here. Matthew Pope, he's going to get in with these creatures as we see Gideon crew the Heart of Kiran.
It's going to make a token as well.
So attacking with both the 4/4 and the 3/2, and Sochůrek needs to find something special very quickly here. There is Gideon, ally of Zendikar. So far, one of his those abilities haven't been activated. We've just seen him remove a loyalty counter to jump inside the Heart of Kiran. Very special crew conditions there for the Heart of Kiran.
Heart Surgeon. That could be his second activity.
Gideon, Heart Surgeon.
Yeah.
I would never want to go under the knife or under the whip.
Dr. Gideon, Heart Surgeon.
Dr. Gideon, Heart Surgeon.
Yeah.
Paging Dr. Gideon to the Operations Theatre. Bring that whip thing and rip your heart out. Not a big fan of that one, to be honest. As I imagine Sochůrek, not a big fan of the creatures that are flying in to stymie his plans.
Oh, wow. Already.
So we do see the block here.
Blocking, yeah.
And we're going to see 2 Thopters enter the battlefield as well. So Heart of Kieran looks to be getting across unmolested. Or is this falling under the guise of out of order sequencing?
So he blocked, and maybe he wants to block another guy.
Yeah, it seems like that might be the pattern that this is taking.
Okay, it's just for viewers at home. Whenever you're blocking, if you're not sure what you're going to block with, just announce, I'm not done with my blocks. Just, I'll tell you when I'm done. Just the first thing you say when you touch your blockers, because that way you can avoid
you can avoid situations like this. Yeah. But the Heart of Kieran, as it is, gets across and slaps Sochůrek around for 4 here.
Is that's a Felidar Guardian?
Felidar Guardian in the hand of Sochůrek.
So he does have all the pieces,
but 1 mana short from deploying them here. 1 mana short.
If he draws a negate, that could work.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, so he plays the Guardian here.
Oh, Tamiyo.
It's going to be Tamiyo instead. And I think buying himself some time here. Yeah, look at this. Tapping down these 2...
so he can kill the Gideon.
These 2 creatures. That is going to take care of the Gideon. The field research has been... Wow, what a valuable player she's been here.
And now... And
getting in for 1 as well.
Matthew does not have a way to activate the Heart of Kieran.
No, that's true. And we know, of course, that Sochůrek is sitting on the combo, and assuming if Matthew had no response to it here, if Pope's just going to F6, Sochůrek can combo off next turn, but we know, of course, that he's got the Unlicensed Disintegration in hand.
So I guess he's going to play the land and play a Disintegration on the Servant to kill Tamiyo right now. Otherwise, it's going to go out of hand.
Yeah, and that...
It's going to get out of hand, yeah.
That holds it off for at least a turn, after which the second Unlicensed Disintegration can hold off the combo when it happens the next time. But I think you're right in what we're going to see here. Yeah, look at that. So that takes care of the Servant of the Conduit, meaning that once again Sochůrek won't have the requisite 6 mana to combo off. And that's an important play here for Pope.
Another Felidar Guardian. Wow. Tamiyo did a really good job here.
Yeah, really cleared the way. That minus ability looks so kind of unimpressive on paper, just the Frost Breath, but
Frost Breath, yeah,
really got it done.
It's Frost Breath for 2 creatures.
Yeah. So now Sochůrek, with the removal of that Servant of the Conduit, is not able to combo off. He does have Felidar Guardian as a 2-of in his hand.
I think so, yeah.
Saheeli
but
Ray
he also
as well.
has Virtuoso, I think. Yeah, 2, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that.
So he has a lot of options.
Seen the Virtuoso in previous turns here. Looks like one of these Thopters is thinking about getting involved, going after it here, getting amongst it.
I would even say advantage to Sochůrek here. I would even go as far as saying that if Matthew is drawing a land, then he's going to start falling behind.
So here is now the Felidar Guardian. That's going to replace the energy that was used to cast it. Ether Hub being relied upon for this mana here. And now Matthew Pope, he recognizes that he's got to tread very, very carefully. Concealed Courtyard to the draw for him. Still can't crew this Heart of Kieran here.
Yeah, drawing a land is not great.
No creature lands to speak of as well. There's the Felidar Guardian, one path of this deadly combo that threatens to overtake the game. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a Shambling Vent hiding out there.
No, there is the...
And the Unlicensed Disintegration is going to take care of that Felidar Guardian.
Attack for 2. That to 7.
Down to 9.
Plus the 2.
Oh, sorry, plus the 2, that's right.
Yeah. So down to 7.
So takes 5. That's a considerable chunk here. Another Felidar Guardian off the top for Sochůrek here. That's the 3rd one.
Yeah, but that we've already said it's not great. So it's just a 1/4. But now Matthew is left with no removal.
And he doesn't have an answer here. He's going to have to get something off the top of his deck that's pretty special. What is it?
A shock.
That's a shock. Oh, that's an answer to the Saheeli now.
That's super spicy.
Jeez, that's such an important draw here.
That's super spicy here. So he can't... He can activate the shambling vent
All right.
and attack with the. No, I think that's what he has to do. Oh wow!
Activate and attack with the shambling van.
No, attack with the heart.
The Heart of Kieran.
Yeah, and then he's probably gonna kill a token. Or is he attacking with? Is attacking with both guys better? Yeah, it's.
Yep, sure. So here is the attack with both of these creatures.
We don't know yet. Maybe he's screwing.
No, it's all about that posture. I've got the soul read.
Attack,
Don't worry about it. Yeah, attack. There it is. It's all about the posture of those fingers, my man. See that a mile away. Sochůrek's going to line up a block here on the Knight ally.
Yeah, I think attacking with the heart was better.
Just to get in that damage?
Yeah. No, just like this is going to be the same thing.
Oh,
like,
sorry, because it's a Thopter token that can block. Yeah,
he's going to kill one Thopter anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, I think attacking with the heart was better.
Because then he doesn't lose the thing. Yeah, and a shock to finish off the fellow Guardian.
Well, he doesn't know. Yeah, I don't like that play.
The thing is here, I mean, gaining 2 life from the shambling vent is so irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because Sochůrek's either going to do 1 billion damage to him or 0, essentially. It comes down to that in very broad terms, at least.
And Matthew does not have a card in hand. Like, what can he draw here to...
This is unbelievable. This is the third Felidar Guardian in a row.
You know what would be amazing here?
What would it be amazing?
Release the gremlins.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Killing the 2 Thopters.
Yeah.
Getting enough crew power.
Yeah.
To pilot the heart. Are you ready?
So Sochůrek now, after having cast his Guardian, finds a land, and Matthew Pope with a draw step to pull
Ballista would be
something very special here.
Ballista would win as well.
It is a Thraben Inspector. He's going to get a rebuy. What
this
can
is
he
tough
find?
Because if he doesn't draw anything special, he's just dead.
So
we
arranges his mana.
We see Petter's hand, like the first card is Sahili
Rai. He's got it. He's got it. Is it going to take this tournament out for him here?
What
Sochůrek,
is it? What is
one
it?
draw step away.
I couldn't see it.
Pope playing his cards very close to his chest after the draw from the Thraben Inspector. Is it going to get him out of this quandary?
Oh, and Ballista doesn't win anymore. Because he can crew, he can kill the 2 Thopters, but Peter would be down to 1.
So Pope, 4 mana, 1 card in hand. We don't know what it is. Sochůrek doesn't know what it is. Matthew Pope hopefully does know what it is.
This is
Shambling Vent.
This is tense.
It's so tense.
It's coming down to the wire.
It's coming right down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. You've got your whole seat, but you only need the edge. Sochůrek, upkeep, draw. He's got Sahili Rai in hand. He's got Felidar Guardian on the battlefield. 2 and 2 make 4, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if Sochůrek can do the maths. Here is Sahili Rai. He's going to flicker the Guardian.
That's game.
And that is game. Matthew Pope revealing an Archangel Avacyn. He does not have an answer to it. And 4-color Copycat confirmed the deck of the day, the deck of the tournament. What a dominant force it's been. Sochůrek has gone from strength to strength. Full credit to Matthew Pope for keeping the Dukes up to the very, very end. But Sochůrek, what a well-earned victory from him.
Second GP trophy for him.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, he'll be very happy to be back in the winner's hall here, because I tell you what, we have had a long and hard-fought slog. Congratulations to Petr Sochůrek, the champion of GP Barcelona 2017. As we welcome you back to the booth, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Riley Knight, and of course I'm joined by the Pro Tour Hall of Famer Raphael Levy. And Raph, we have just witnessed one of the most remarkable top 8s I've ever covered. We had a clean split, 4 Mardu, 4 Sahili decks in the semi-finals. Again, 2 Mardu versus 2 Sahili, and it came down to the final. These 2 decks faced off, and we finally found ourselves a winner.
7 matches of Sahili versus Mardu, and I have to say, I was actually entertained by the matches.
Oh yeah,
people would say, "Oh no, it's a boring match. We see it again and again and again." But none of these games looked like like another one.
No, that's it. And look, the Peanut Gallery this weekend can very much enjoy deploring the lack of diversity in standard, but I think it is still a format with a lot of depth, a lot of intricate and deft decision making to be made that rewards tight play and clever players. And Petr Sochůrek is indeed one of those players, as you see there on the screen. A very, very happy man. He'll be very happy to add that trophy to his growing cabinet. We've talked this weekend about the dominance of these two decks, and we've seen a very intricate top 8 played out before our very eyes. What are some of the lessons that we've taken away from this weekend, and specifically this top 8?
That the deck doesn't make the tournament, the player does. It feels like I've seen very good plays in the top 8, and I'm happy to see that. It's not just like some player, some average player picking up the deck and just cruising through a field.
Cards at each other,
well, this deck is good, so it's going to beat everything. Since everybody was playing pretty much the same thing, like we've seen good players in the top 8. I think that's the lesson we can.
Yeah.
I'm happy when good players win.
And the other thing to take away from this is, as we've seen throughout the weekend, is that the good players have risen to the top as well, but well-built decks and the people who have come to with a very clear mind of what they wanted to beat, how they wanted to play and approach this matchup. As Petr Sochůrek accepts his trophy, he is certainly in this position. He's done a very, very good job of dictating the terms of his tournament. And look at him there with a smile on his face. He's happy to be where he is, of course. But look, I think that the real value out of this tournament, the real lesson that we've got here, this top 8 has been fantastic for all of those players moving forward who are wanting to investigate and learn about this matchup. We've seen the best players in the room come together for the entire top 8 here, Raf, and show us all of the ins and outs, all of the intricacies, all of the stuff that goes on when these two decks go head-to-head.
Yeah, he's joining us.
He is making his Petr Sochůrek coming over to join us here in the booth. So Rafael Levy,
so I'm going to leave.
Bidding you farewell. It's been a pleasure to work with you this weekend, my friend, and we're looking forward now to having a chat with Sochůrek, the winner of GP Barcelona 2017, as the Hall of Famer Rafael Levy makes his way out of the booth, and we welcome the champion of GP Barcelona for 2017, mate.
Hello.
Pop a squat down in there, whack that one on your noggin, and we'll have a chat. Firstly, congratulations on a well-earned victory. We've been watching you throughout this weekend. We've been talking about these decks. You must be obviously over the moon with this result.
It's insane. I can describe it. It just I didn't expect to win at all.
Well, you've done exceedingly well to get to where you've been. We saw all the way throughout the tournament. We had the clear 50-50 split, Mardu on one side, Saheeli on the other. What were your thoughts going into this weekend about the Mardu matchup? How confident were you? What were your thoughts?
So, I'm not really an aggro guy, so this is the only other viable deck. And I think the matchup is slightly unfavorable, but it's super skill intensive, so if you just play against a worse player, you're going to have an edge. So I think it's a fine choice.
Well, this is what we've seen throughout the top 8, that card selection, deck building, and player skill in these decisions are so important.
Yeah.
We saw some very intricate and deft plays made in the top 8. And so for you, do you feel like this standard format, it still has something to offer to players who are going to innovate and find new ways around this format?
I think right now it's more about like the flex spots. It's not about finding a better deck because these decks are just too powerful. So it's basically just about like the 8 cards that you can switch between the decks and the sideboard. But I don't think that a new deck is going to pop up.
So really, you think that this is the way that we're going to go, and people are going to be rewarded for building these decks in the best way to take on a field.
Yeah.
That's an interesting insight, and I know that people around the world will be interested to see the way that this top 8 has panned out. But for you personally, as now the champion of this GP and the pilot of the deck of the week, what are the lessons that you've taken away from this Grand Prix?
I think I learned I should play more because I made infinite mistakes.
Oh, really? Infinite mistakes and you still take the trophy?
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
I was really, really lucky. Like, multiple times I just made a huge mistake and then I top deck out of it. I just never got punished.
Well, look, you'll take it any way you can get it. That's the way that she goes. So well done indeed to Petr Sochůrek, finding his way all the way into the winner's chair here at GP Barcelona. We're going to close things out, so I'll ask you to just stick around for just a few more minutes as we sign off here from GP Barcelona. My friends, once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your weekend with us. It's been a true pleasure to bring you live coverage of GP Barcelona throughout the weekend. My heartfelt thanks go out to all the people who made this GP possible, all of the staff, the tournament organisers, the judges and the people who have worked tirelessly to make this event a success. And of course, my esteemed colleagues on the coverage team, led by Rich Hagen. We've got Stephen Leeming, of course. We've got Rashad Miller, my colleagues here in the booth in the form of Raphael Levy and Matej Zadelkai and Stephen Leeming, and of course Toby Henke behind the scenes. Don't go anywhere, my friends, because even though we're closing up shop for the night here at Barcelona, GP New Jersey is coming your way very soon. Hot and fresh out the kitchen, my friends. We'll see you over on the other side of the Atlantic in just a few moments. Thanks so much for being a part of the success of this week.